Hello friends, I welcome you all to my channel. So here I will be giving you all the tips, strategies, the questions and the concepts that you need to learn so as to crack the Neet exam. Now in 2015 they asked a question about cross section of spinal cord and the structures which are there in spinal cord. And if you check your NCERT textbook, nothing much has been written about the spinal cord, except there is a picture that is mentioned in the topic of reflex arc, where they have mentioned certain structures inside the spinal cord. So, and after that they have not asked so much of questions in this particular topic. So we will be discussing this in an exhaustive way so that you can solve any other question that will be asked in the future exam pertaining to this particular topic. So we will be discussing that at that particular level. So you know that spinal cord is actually a continuation of the medulla oblongata. And if you consider this particular spinal cord as such, you know that brain and spinal cord, these are the two important structures which will constitute the central nervous system in a person's body. So central nervous system is divided into two structures, brain and the spinal cord. The brain will be coming out through the foramen magnum, which is continuing as the spinal cord. So first of all, before we discuss anything else, we will be discussing certain basic facts about the vertebrae and the spinal canal, which is present in the center of the vertebrae, through which the spinal cord is going to come out. So the vertebral structure looks like this. See, this is called as the body of the vertebra. This is, if I am standing like this, the body is facing towards your side. See, that is how it is arranged. And this is the spine of vertebra. So this is what you can feel if you touch your backside. See, in the center most line you will be able to feel the spine of vertebra lying one after the other. It is actually stuck out, like it is arranged one above the other, isn't it? So the vertebral spines can be felt on your back as it is arranged one above the other. And this spinal canal is an opening which is present inside the body of the vertebra, just behind the body of the vertebra, through which this vertebra is going to go inside. So once you stack all the vertebrae over this foramen will become a canal, and it is through this particular canal that this vertebral column will be coming out of the brain, and that will be going down till the level of the lumbar spine, right? So far as vertebrae is concerned, we need to learn the vertebral formula as such. So there is C7, 7 cervical vertebrae, T12, right, 12 thoracic vertebrae in this particular region. 12 thoracic vertebrae are present behind your chest. Lumbar 5, there are 5 lumbar vertebrae behind the abdomen. Sacral 5, and there is a coccygeal 4. So cervical, thoracic, lumbar, sacral and coccygeal. So this is to be very carefully remembered. This is very important as far as your exams are concerned. See, cervical, thoracic, lumbar, sacral and coccygeal. See, the sacral is composed of 5 vertebrae and they are actually fused to one another. So we will be writing this within brackets, just to show that there are 5 sacral vertebrae. I do agree with that, but yes, they are fused to form a one sacrum itself. And coccyx also, there are 4 coccygeal vertebrae. They are actually joined together, they are fused together. That is why we are writing this within the brackets. So that is the whole vertebral formula: C7, T12, lumbar 5, sacral 5 and coccygeal 4. You can add to get the whole total value of vertebrae which is present over there. And you can see that in the center of the vertebrae there is a spinal canal through which the the spinal cord is passing through this. The point that I would like to make it very clear is that the content of foramen magnum. Foramen magnum, if you just take your skull and turn it upside down, take the skull and turn it upside down, you will see that there is a big opening in the posterior surface of the skull. On the backward area there is a big opening through which the medulla oblongata is going to come down as the spinal cord. See, the midbrain and the hindbrain as per the NCERT is called as the brain stem. So in hindbrain you will have cerebellum, pons and medulla oblongata. This medulla oblongata will be coming out as spinal cord through the foramen magnum. So the question is, what is the content of foramen magnum? Is it spinal cord or medulla oblongata? It is medulla oblongata. So the content of foramen magnum is medulla oblongata, and once it comes out of foramen magnum, then it becomes the spinal cord. So what is the extent of spinal cord? It is coming from the first cervical vertebrae, that is the first vertebrae of this particular 7 vertebrae. The topmost vertebrae over here, we call it as the atlas, that is the first cervical vertebrae, till Where is it ending? That is L1. See, in the lower border of L1 vertebrae, so till the level of lumbar vertebrae, it is actually extending till there, right? And this is the lowermost end, this is the lower end, this is how we represent the lower end of the spinal cord, and it is this level which is the L1. So it is this level which is the L1, that is first lumbar vertebrae, where it will be ending in case of adult. Right, now you can see certain structures which are coming out of here. So at the level of ending, you can see there is an enlargement. This kind of an enlargement is called as the conus medullaris. Right, so this particular cone shaped arrangement is called as the conus medullaris, which is present at the end of the spinal cord at the level of L1. Right, now the point is, we know that there are three meninges in the brain. The coverings of the brain, arachnoid, pia mater and dura mater, all the three coverings will be present till here, right? It will be continuing through the foramen magnum along with the medulla oblongata to form spinal cord, and it will be covering the whole length of the spinal cord. And once the spinal cord is ending, the pia mater actually extends still beneath this, and it will be ending at the coccygeal vertebra. So this will go up to coccyx, and this is called as the phylum terminal. So this particular thin strand of pia mater of both sides joining together and then extending till the coccygeal vertebrae, that is called as phylum terminal. Right, so it is just a very thin strand at the terminal end, that is called as phylum terminal. So this is the area where it is coming down, right? Now the point is, from the spinal cord, many nerves are arising at all vertebral levels. These are the peripheral nerves. You know that there are cranial nerves, there are peripheral nerves, and these are spinal nerves as such. So 31 pairs of spinal nerves should be present. You know that. So from 31 pairs of spinal nerves are arising from both sides. On both sides, you have one nerve each. So they are pairs, right? And what will happen after this particular spinal cord is ending? What will happen after that? All the rest nerves will be actually forming a mesh of nerves here, isn't it? This mesh of nerves are the rest nerves which will go through the vertebral column again, and it will be coming out of the respective vertebral foramen below the ending of spinal cord. So the point is, spinal cord is ending at the level of L1, but still there are nerves which come below L1 from the spinal cord. How is that possible? So all the nerves are arising at the lower end. It will come down together, and then it will be coming out of the vertebral canal through its respective orifices, respective foramina, right? So this particular aspect, when you take the spinal cord out of the human body and look at it, you will see that a lot of hair-like structures are coming down. These are the nerves which are supposed to come out through their respective foramina lower down. And this is actually compared to the tail of a horse. A horse tail looks like this particular picture, and that is why they call it as, cauda equina. Cauda means caudal end of or the tail as such. It means the tail of horse, isn't it? So equinus means horse. So it is actually looking like the caudal part of equinus, or the tail of equinus. That is, cauda equina is the all other nerves together. This particular bunch of nerves together, you will be calling it as cauda equina, which has to come out at a lower level once the spinal cord is ending at L1. So these are all the gross features, isn't it? What is the lower end? That is L1 vertebrae. After that, you will have a phylum terminal which will extend till the coccyx, and all the other nerves which are coming out of the spinal cord will be coming out as a bunch. They are called as cauda equina because it is actually considered, which is very similar to the structure of the horse tail. Now, if you talk about these particular nerves coming out of spinal cord, right, in the thoracic area of the spinal cord, behind your chest and behind the abdomen, that is lumbar area. From thoracic area and lumbar area, in the nerves that are coming out of the spinal cord, in the thoracic area and lumbar area, you will be having sympathetic nervous system fibers which are going through this. So the sympathetic nervous system supply of your body will be through the spinal nerves which are coming out from the thorax and lumbar area, and from the cranial nerves and the sacral region. see, sacral region. So these nerves which will go and come out of the sacral foramina, the spinal nerves which are coming out of the sacrum have the parasympathetic nervous system supply fibers. So the parasympathetic nervous system in your body is actually through the nerves which are coming out of the cranial cavity, that is cranial nerves, and the spinal nerves which are arising in the sacral region. So that is why we call it as thoracolumbar outflow is sympathetic nervous system, craniosacral outflow is parasympathetic nervous system. See, all institutes teach this particular aspect, this particular point is taught in all classes, but as of now no questions have been asked till now from this particular topic, so we can expect a question in the future years. So up to this we have come to the gross features of this. Now we will take the cut section of spinal cord and learn whatever is required from there.